Yo, yo, yo. I just got back a couple of submissions. One from CGC for magazines, which is a first for me. And the other is vintage cards from PSA. So let's dive into this. This magazine thing is all brand new to me. I do watch CGC Sports Illustrated. Want to give a shout out to Jim for helping me out through this process. These are all magazines that either I came across in my stepdad had, or primarily that I found at like some rummage sales and things that I thought looked nice and would get them graded. If nothing else, for my PC, it is halftime of the Packers game right now. They're not looking so sharp against the Carolina Panthers, but this is the first one here. Antonio Freeman, I believe it's his first cover of Sports Illustrated. Doesn't really mean a whole lot to anybody because he's not, a Hall of Famer or anything else, but he was, a cog in that offense for Green Bay when they won Super Bowl 31 in the 96 season. Following up with that, and I think this is the best way I'm going to do this, is just kind of slowly go through and show the whole cover because my screen doesn't cover it all. This is Time Magazine with Brett Favre and Reggie White. 8.5. It looked pretty sharp. And I don't know. I think I know it's pretty tough to get like 9.8s. Is an 8.5 good? Is that, I don't know, is that like the equivalent of getting like a 6 or a 7 as a card? I really don't know. I want to think that the 8 scale is the 8 scale, but also it's, these magazines are difficult, so I really don't know. I'm still learning. I'm not going to be getting too far into these because they do take up a lot of space, and there's other things out there, but I don't know. I thought it'd be kind of a fun experiment and to check it out. This is the cover when McGuire broke the record for the home runs in the season as an 8. So I found that at a rummage, I believe. And for a couple bucks, I figured, you pay the money to get it pressed, which I think is 30 or 40. I can't really remember. And then, then you got to send it off and get these graded, which is another like 40, I think. But if you become a CGC member, you get a discount off the top from, they take that off. So this one here is, pretty sweet with early Jordan. And that came in as a 6.5. I don't know. I know Sporting News isn't Sports Illustrated, but I also felt that, anything early Jordan is going bananas right now. And, in all Jordan for that matter. So, even as a 6.5, I figured it was worth getting it, and I don't know if that's the exact, pick from his rookie, card, but it mirrors it pretty close. It's, the iconic, jump. So, and then this one here is actually the one that graded the best. Again, probably not a super collectible issue unless you're a Packers fan, but Desmond Howard, 9.2. Again, I got this at a rummage. I thought that came out pretty good. And Desmond Howard is probably a top 5 Packer all time for me. In high school whenever there was a kickoff, it was like can't miss TV. So, love that one came back in a high grade. All right, couple of vintage ones here coming up. So as we slide through here, now apparently this is the first Porsche ever to be shown on I don't know if it's a magazine or a Sports Illustrated. When Jim actually went through and did a reveal for like his channel on these, and he explained it. But 5.5, but it's the 5th ever Sports Illustrated, so I wanted to get that taken care. Get slabbed, I suppose. There is writing up here on the W, but still, I figured that it's probably worth it. Somebody out there is probably trying to collect the first year of Sports Illustrated, and maybe this can be an upgrade or at least a filler. And I think a 5.5 for that year for being so old. That's from 54. So I mean that's mid grade. If you get a 5 or a 6 on a card from the 50s, I think you're usually feeling pretty happy about that. Next one here is Roger Bannister, Sportsman of the Year cover. I actually wrote to him before he passed away and got an index card signed by him. I think the breaking the 4-minute mile is pretty neat. And it was a pretty big deal back then. So 5.5 on that. And then we got just a couple more. I know that this isn't everybody's bag. That's why I did it first, so that if you are watching, you can't necessarily just turn it off after you see the cards. I thought I'd take you through these. This is interesting to me at least, and whatever. It's just a different aspect of the hobby. Here I've got this Nintendo Power with Ken Griffey Jr. on it. I picked this up from an arcade convention type thing weekend. In Milwaukee, there's the Midwest Gaming Classic, which has a whole bunch of, a lot of pinball, a lot of old arcade games and whatever, and it's in this convention hall. And then there's, vendors and whatever. And going through there, I found this and, loved Ken Griffey Jr. as everybody else did. Picked this up. I thought it was the nicest one of the bunch. Unpressed, Jim thought maybe it would be like a 5.5. He thought it had a chance to get up to a 7.5. It came back a 7. Not complaining, and I didn't really know the process too much, and there's little things to look for if I ever do this again. And now I kind of have an idea just by watching some more of his videos and whatever, and seeing what I picked out, and then him pointing out the flaws, which I thought was a pretty good learning experience. I'm really appreciative that he did this video for me. And if you're into this, definitely hit him up. He's on Twitter, and you can probably find him in some other outlets as well. But yeah, came back as a 7. That was the only one that I really paid any money for. I think I spent like $30 on it. And so, all said and done, there's probably like 100-ish into it. Is it worth $100? I hope so. I really don't know. If anybody knows more about any of this stuff, obviously comment for me, because I love learning new things about, the hobby and everything else. These last couple are my favorites. This one is from 53. There's a little bit of writing on here, but it does feature Mickey Mantle. And this is pre-Sports Illustrated. So, I know that Sports Illustrated is obviously the one that everybody wants, but I think, third year Mantle. I don't know how many other magazine covers he was on previous to this or any of that. Jackie Robinson's on there too. Here's Stan Musial. Down here is Ferris Fane, who I don't even know anything about. But, Mantle, anything is going to have some kind of demand. So wanted to get that one. This corner here, you can see it's all bent up. That probably certainly prevented it from a higher grade. And, and there's more on the back here as well. But yeah, these vintage magazines, especially the oddball ones, are really pretty neat and interesting. My wife is not happy that I graded these. She thought I should enjoy them for what they are, because we'll never be able to look at them again, and the ads are cool, and but it's a good way to preserve them and display them. I don't know. So this one's got Herb Score and Don Newcomb, Stan Musial, and again Mickey Mantle. This is from 57. So a couple years after Sports Illustrated had started, but Baseball All-Stars. And again, an oddball publication, but for this, when you look back at it now, it might be oddball. This, I don't know if this could have been, the baseball magazine in its era. So, again, anything Mantle, no matter what, I think is worth getting. graded out. So again, it was an experiment for me. It wasn't cheap, but it does present some good things. There's a couple in there that I want to sell. Probably the Maguire, probably that Porsche or Ferrari. I'm not sure what it is. I can't remember. And maybe that Jordan, but I think I should hang on to it. So I'd love to hear your opinions on this. Then I just got this back in the mail. So see if I can zoom this in a little bit for the rest of this video. There we go. Obviously, Ohtani is the talk of the town right now. When he had that performance against my Brewers, I just snagged up a few of his cards, a couple rookies, because I do have a number of his rookie cards, base cards. And I've had my eye on this one for a while. It was $325, picked it up. Previous sale before that was like $295, and one went shortly after for $400. So I know that his stuff is hot right now. I'm glad I got it while it did. There's only 88 of these in a 10. Funny enough, like 2 months prior to this, a green parallel numbered to 99 went for like $4 or $425. Wish I had seen that sooner, but it is what it is. But yeah, I love this image. Short print refractor. Pretty cool. All right, moving on. Then my buddy gave me this card. My friend Mark, thank you. He bought a collection. This is a 1-card pack from Twizzler, like some kind of home run challenge or something. Probably can't tell too well in there, but if you see it in the right... see if I can bring this up. Maybe there it is. Now you can see it's Canseco with the Rangers. So he knows I love Canseco and grew up as a big Canseco fan. So he got this for me. And he's right. He was like, I've got a pack that you don't have, and who knows when you're going to see another one. So that's pretty cool. My wife joked that I shouldn't get that one graded, but maybe I will. I don't know. Now, moving on to my submission from PSA here. These are all pretty great. I got this for my anniversary weekend, our anniversary weekend. Went to a couple antique shops, and I found this T206 Johnny Evers Caporal. So picked that up, and then also picked up this Frank Chance. So now I just need Joe Tinker, and I'll be in good shape for those that Cub infield double play combination. These T206s, I don't know. I feel like that they're lenient on grading, and this is not a complaint by any means. I thought for sure that maybe this had a chance at a 2, thinking this one would get a 1. I totally understand why it's authentic. There's some like chipping and stuff throughout. The back, it's got some staining and whatever. But I got these cards each. I think I got the pair for like $200, maybe $225. And just to have any T206 cards in your collection, especially Hall of Famers, doesn't really matter the grade. Pretty great. All right, and then moving on here, these are out of order from what I wanted to have these in as, so give me 1 second here. I think now we're in shape here. All right. So, you probably, if you watch my videos at all, you saw my SGC submission of similar cards. I sent in a handful of this collection that I had bought from a friend's dad, or father-in-law, rather. These were the ones I wanted to hold for my PC, and so sent this one in. This is a 4. I think the other one maybe came back as a 4 as well. This one was just a touch better centered, even though it is off. So keeping that one for myself. I'll sell the other one. Then moving on here, I don't know what happened here necessarily, or maybe PSA is just extra hard on mantles, but the other mantle I'd sent in SGC, I got a 5 on. This came back as a 3. This one's very well centered. I don't know if there's a surface wrinkle or what, but I got that one that, it came back as a 3. And then, sadly, I got this one that came back as a miscut. So I don't believe that they charged me for it because it's a miscut. But I lined up another card and it looked like identical. So I don't know. I'm gonna give it another shot and send it back in when I have an opportunity to. Otherwise, I'll send it to like SGC and see what happens because SGC grades almost everything. So bummer that one came back ungraded because I thought both of these had a chance at a 5 or possibly a 6, and based upon what you see on the rest of these cards that come through, I think that both of them should have maybe graded higher. So I'm not sure why, I took a loss there. But then I've got this Koufax here that came in as a 5. And then this one that came in as a 4. The centering's much better on the 5. I think that's probably what maybe swayed the grade difference. Otherwise, I think both the cards are in pretty similar condition. So keep the 5, sell the 4. Then I've got these 2 Clementes here, and I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to hang on to and which one I'm going to move. I want to say that I like the one on the left better, but I'm curious, what you guys think. I don't mind the off center a little bit up and down, which is the case on the right, but I think looking at them both identically, that the one on the left does just present just a little bit better. And then I got a min size. So otherwise I potentially had 3 7s or maybe that would have been like a 6. I know it's not an 8, but either way, I'll send that one back in along with that mantle at some point and see what happens. Otherwise I'll go to SGC because they don't charge you for those. So you just have to pay for the shipping, which isn't really that big of a deal to me. All right, we got a few more here. Don Sutton rookie card, 6 with a mark. There's a little bit of a point right over here. You might not be able to see too well. I'll bring that up. You can see it right there by his ear at the border. So I thought maybe that was a print mark, but apparently not. Either way, it's not a long-term hold. I would like to upgrade that. His 7s aren't really all that pricey, so getting one of those wouldn't be too bad. 8s start getting a little bit too much. I'd rather put that money towards something else. So I think a 7 would be good, and I can just sell this one off at some point when I decide to do so. Jim Palmer, I have that rookie. That presents pretty nice. Again, this is kind of a placeholder. 7s aren't too bad. I can't remember what 8 goes for, but yeah, add another Hall of Fame rookie card to my collection. We'll never complain about that. And then I've got these kind of oddball Braves cards. I got one of Euchre and one of Aaron. So I'll hang on to the Aaron. I've got another Euchre that also graded a 7 that I probably showed you in my COMC return. And so we'll move one, keep one. I haven't decided which of the 2 I'm going to move, although the other one was put in a better holder. This one, moves around a little bit. So this is probably the one I'm going to move just because I don't like it when they put the cards in the holders, although this might have been a little bit bigger than the other one, and that's why they were forced to do it that way. But I digress. And then last but not least here, these I didn't know about until like the last couple of years, these Bob Uecker cards. So in 1975, WTMJ, which is a local radio station here, they put out like a little 9-card set, I believe, of all the announcers and people involved in radio and television, and then there was a couple of schedule cards. Well, Uecker was on these. These sets don't really pop up all that often, and they haven't been graded very much either. I I want to say that I've got 2 of 3 that have been graded. There's only one 9. I've got an 8 and I've got a 7. There might be one other one out there that was graded. And so, but, I have these, and a fun card, especially for, Milwaukee Brewers fans. I think that, I'll be able to sell one of these do pretty well on the 7, cover a lot of costs, but these sets aren't cheap necessarily. They're like $300 for the set. I've got 2 of them. I turned down an uncut set sheet, and I don't know if I regret it or not. There was another set that I potentially was going to buy, but I don't know. You start stacking up all these things and then hoarding the same set over and over. It's kind of fun at first, but did I really want to drop $1,200-$1,500 on having just like the same set for the same card? And then I don't know like the sustainability of Euchre's value. At some point, people my age are gonna, not be collecting, and younger kids are not gonna care. So I think I got to kind of move this quickly and see what I can get for it. But that all being said, the Packers just missed a field goal and they're down 7-6. So I'm going to get back to this game, but you guys all have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.